Finding Baba is like somebody finds a mirror for the first time, and you think about a situation when you've never seen a mirror and you've never seen what your face really looks like. Can you see your face without a mirror? No. And then all your life, everybody who has a distorted vision has been telling you about how your face looks. Yes, somebody says your face is, distorted. Somebody says it's not proper. Somebody says something else. And then you also start believing that. And you live with that idea that that is my face. But one day you meet the mirror, and then that mirror reflects your face to you. And then it takes time to even accept that, I'm actually beautiful. Because, you see through your mind. And if you've created a sanskar of looking at yourself with a distorted vision, then it will take some time for you to correct that vision about yourself. Do you understand this thing? Because I have shared this earlier also. Once there was a brother from Lithuania, and he had come to the center. And when he came, he said, I have a very difficult problem. So I said, what is the problem? He said, my face is distorted. My face is, not symmetrical, and it is tilted to one side. So I looked at his face and I said, not from where I see it, it is fine. So he said, no, it's like that. You can't see it, but it's like that. And, it's a condition of the mind. I don't remember the name, you can look it up. It's a condition of the mind where you start having false images of your own face. And even if you look in the mirror, you don't believe the mirror. Or, you can't even see appropriately because you see through your buddhi. So it's a similar situation. We learned about our qualities, what are we like, our nature, our character from the old world. And then our self-image became that, I'm a vicious soul, and that's normal. Everybody is born vicious, supposed to be vicious. And then Baba comes, and then Baba says, no, I am your parent, teacher, Satguru. I am your everyone and everything. And everyone you believe to be your parent and teacher and Satguru are not that. Because you see, many false ideas you get from your parents also, and your teachers also. And all the false ideas come from basically people of authority in the world. So Baba says, all those people in whom you vested the authority, that you are the ones who are telling me the truth, those are all bodily relations, and I am the one telling you the real truth. And the truth is, I am your parent, teacher, Satguru, and I am the ocean of peace, love, purity, and you are just like me. You are my child. And in order to correct your self-image and come to that place where you start genuinely believing that, yes, I am like my Baba, and my qualities are, I am the master ocean of peace, love, purity, knowledge. Just like my Baba, you have to remember Baba. Yes, you have to sit in front of the mirror all day Because as soon as you don't remember Baba, your vision of yourself and everything about the world is again distorted. Is it not? Yes, the world gives you an idea of who you are, who is God, what's going on, what are these other people related to you as. And then Baba tells us that no, that's not the story. Everybody around you is just a co-actor playing their role, and you have to be absolutely detached from the role they play. But the world tells us differently. No, they are your, they are your relatives, they are your friends, they are your siblings, and then you have to act according to them. So if somebody is upset, you have to be upset. Somebody is not listening, you have to be angry. So we have been taught very differently in the world. And in order that I see myself as I am, and I see the reality as it is, and I behave according to the reality. And what is the reality? That every co-actor around you has a prefixed script working inside itself, and that actor will play their role according to their script, and you don't start reacting to that script that is recorded in them. You play your part, your script as it is recorded in you. So Baba says that this kind of clarity only I give you, and only when you are in remembrance of me, you will remember the secret of the drama, you will remember the secret of yourself, your co-actors, you will remember the secret of time, you will also remember the secret of your purpose. Because the world tells you, what is your purpose? Your purpose is winning, success, yes. Your purpose is achievement, attainment in the outer world. But Baba says, no, that's not your purpose anymore. Now you have to go back, and your purpose is to be pure. But how many seconds in the day do you actually remember all of the knowledge that Baba gives you? And do you actually, in that awareness, choose your actions? Because you see, it's a very difficult game that we are into. On one side is Baba telling us a different story, the true story about who we are, what's going on, what's our aim, what's the time. And then there is this whole false world telling us something else. And then only when we are in remembrance of Baba do we remember what Baba says and act accurately. When we are not in remembrance of Baba, again the old beliefs and the sanskars that we have start taking over, right? So this is why Baba says remembrance is a must for purity. Remembrance is a must for this Brahmin life. Now you see, have you ever heard this phrase that it doesn't matter what happens to you, what matters is how you respond to it? Yes, everybody says this all the time these days, and it's a very famous quote. But the thing is, can you distinguish between what is happening to you and how you're responding to it? Because mostly what's happening to you determines how you respond to it. And that's the belief system in the old world. So if somebody is shouting at you, then you are taught to respond angrily to that person. Yes, so, but how do you choose your response separate from what's happening around you? For that, you need a purpose. And you see, Baba says that when you see me, and when you see that your purpose is to be pure despite being in this old world and old body, only then can you choose your response in a different manner from what is happening to you. Is it not? And you see that until and unless we have this purpose and we have this understanding that my purpose is to be pure, we will necessarily respond in the same way with the same quality as is the quality of the events happening around me, because that is our sanskar. Now you see, in the Murli today, in the outset, Baba tells us that you are a soul and I am talking to you, and I am telling you that you have to be pure, and the world and your body is not going to be pure. Yes, so you see that Baba says, when I say child, child, bache, bache, I am talking to you, the soul, and I am teaching you, and I am not talking to the body or the matter around you, right? Or I am not talking to the souls who are not listening to me. So who is required to follow my teachings? You. But you have to follow my teachings despite a tamopradhan body, despite imperfect, unfavorable situations and behaviors around you. And Baba says that the law is, when you follow the teachings and the directions of the ocean of purity while living in an impure world, then you become pure while living in an impure body and impure world. And then when you become pure, you get a pure body and pure world. Yes, so the first thing we have to understand is, we have to pay attention to Baba's teachings and imbibing whatever Baba is saying despite our circumstances, despite the physical conditions of the body and the world around us. And that is where the challenge comes, because you see, there is a very big belief system in our heads which has been drilled into us. What is that? When you become good, good things will happen to you, right? But that is not so. When you become good or pure in an impure world, the worst starts happening to you. Is it not? Everything. And you see, today Baba says that when you belong to Baba and when you follow Baba's Srimad, you will have to bear insults. And it is man's nature to insult God and insult God's children. And do you know that people don't generally have a problem with, vicious people. The vicious world has problem with the pure ones, is it not? Yes, that is how it works. And I'll tell you one thing. There's a story which I love very much and I often share in the class. And this story is about a person who came to know that there is a pond in his village from where everybody fetches water. So everybody in the village takes their water from that pond. And this one particular villager of that village, he figures out that tomorrow this pond will become poisonous. And anybody who drinks water from that pond will go mad. So he is the only one who knows this prophecy. So what he does is, he goes and fills his whole tank with the pond water today. But he doesn't share this information with anybody else. And when early morning happens, every person in the village, they go and fetch water from the pond and they drink it and bathe with it and they go mad. And this person is the only person who has not drank that water because he has a store of water. So when everybody goes mad, what do? They pelt stones at him. Yes, so everybody is mad, but who is getting beaten up? That one who is not mad. And then it becomes such a trouble for him that finally he decides that being mad is better than being sane. And then he also goes and drinks the water from that pond. Now, why I'm sharing this story with you is, when it is a vicious world and everybody thinks that lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed is normal and natural and right. In this world, when you start giving up lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, when you start purifying yourself, then all the other people who are vicious, they start accusing you. Yes, because they find that this is something not natural and not normal, and there must be something wrong with this person who is being pure. And when they start doing it, then what is your tendency? Your tendency is to also be like them. Because A, there is a sanskar in you which is like them, and B, it requires great spiritual strength to stick to your path when everybody is pulling you down. So Baba says, but if you can do this much, if you can live in this world of insults and defamation, and you can live in this world where everybody is getting angry and bitter and everything, but you can maintain your state of stability, achal adol. And how can you be achal adol? By having yoga and by following accurately that one who is achal adol. And if you can maintain that state of being absolutely stable, then slowly, gradually, there will come a point where this whole world will shift and you will move to a world where everything will be according to the pure laws of nature. And there will be no resistance to purity. Right? And I'll tell you what, some incidents that I came across in this journey about how people accuse you when you become pure. And I remember there was this one Kumar, and he said that I want to be celibate. And then his parents and his family, Chacha, Tao, everybody, they came and sat together, and they told him, if you love a boy, it's okay with us. You don't have to say that you want to be pure in order to not get married. This is absolute nonsense. Nobody can stay pure. So there must be another reason. So maybe you love a boy, that's why this is happening. So it's okay, we'll get married, we'll get you married to that boy. So that brother said, you are okay with me marrying a boy, but why is it not okay for me to stay celibate? So they said, because that's not natural, that's not happening. It's a different story and you're just trying to camouflage it. So then he said, and how do you know that? So they said, because we are all experienced people and we know that, lust is our nature and nobody can stay without lust. So you see that these are the kind of accusations you will have. Or, there was this one Mata, and she was sending seva to the center, and then her husband said, you have a new boyfriend and you are having an affair and you are sending money and you are so ardent to meet that boyfriend, so you want to go to Delhi all the time and this and that. And she was accused badly, and then she said, no, I don't have a boyfriend. And then she said, oh yes, I have a boyfriend, but that's not a human being, that's God. So he said, I don't trust any word of it. and you are definitely having an affair, and this is going on, and I'm going to leave you and I'm going to divorce you. And then she said, okay, if this is how you feel, I will take you where I want to go, and you can yourself see what's going on. And then she said, no, I have absolutely no interest in doing that. I just want you to stop, or I will believe what I believe. I'm not interested in your version of the truth. I know the truth, and I will continue to believe what I believe if you don't stop. So then she said, no, I won't stop, and I will read the Murli, and I am anyways doing online class, so why are you so, why are you so, freaking out about this? So she took that challenge, and then it took a long time to build, that, to come out of that accusation. And he told the whole family, and he told everybody around that this woman is cheating on me, and she is doing this and that. So you see, why I'm sharing these things with you is because in this world, when you start becoming pure, even when you stop getting angry, people will not believe that you have become peaceful. They will believe that you have some other, some other ulterior, intentions, or there are some other plannings going on inside you. That's why you're not reacting. And they don't trust you if you're not reacting. So Baba says that all these accusations will come to you. And on the bigger level, if you see, Brahma Baba was accused and defamed badly in the papers also. And Baba says that even people who have this power, they will try to put it in the papers that, these people are wrong people and they're misguiding, because purity is equal to misguiding. And there was this situation where there was a newspaper in Sakar Brahma Baba's time, and that newspaper started printing a lot of nonsense about Yajna. And then what happened was, there were Baba's children who started being very upset about it. And then they told Baba that, Baba, we will also file a case against them. So we will also go to the court and file a case against them. And then, you know what Baba said? Baba said, the children don't know that I am the father, but I know they are my children. And a father doesn't file a case against their children, against his children. So I cannot, so you have to calm down, and I cannot tell you to file a case against my own children. So you have to, you just write a letter to them that those who defame us are our friends. Ninda hamari jo kare, mitra hamara so hoye. So you just write this and send it to them. And then they did that. And later on, after much time passed, that newspaper owner, he realized that what he was doing was wrong, and later he came to Baba on his own. But you see, it requires a lot of patience, and patience also works if you don't create bad karma in the process. Because you see, sometimes people say that I am just patient and this is happening, but patience means waiting with positivity. If you're reacting in the process, if you're also creating negative karma in the process, that is not patience. And Baba says, even if somebody defames you badly, somebody prints pamphlets, distributes, and every BK who has taken up seva on a big level has faced all this. So these things happen. And then Baba says that you don't have to be upset about it. Because you see, behind all of this, what is the reality? That whenever you follow Baba and you are establishing a kingdom for yourself, then Maya has to come and stop you from doing that. And it is Maya that is making everybody do this in order to stop you. And if you get upset, what happens next? You stop. Yes, and what's important is you don't stop. Because if you stop, then the whole purpose of Maya is served. And how do you keep going? By taking sorrow, by taking hurt, can you keep going? No. If you keep taking hurt and sorrow, then even if you don't stop, you will slow down. You will go astray. You will not be able to have the same kind of zeal and enthusiasm. And on this path, I have experienced that it is very important that you maintain your zeal and enthusiasm and your happiness despite everything. And if you start getting upset by these things, then they steal your happiness. They lower your zeal and enthusiasm. And when that happens, then even if you don't stop at once, you keep slowing down. And there comes a time when you stop and you don't even know why you stopped, because what happened long time ago. But that upset and that sorrow that you're carrying for so long is slowing you down and gradually stopping you. So this is why Baba says that all of these things will happen. You must know this and never think that, in the world there's a very simplistic belief system. What's that? If somebody insults somebody, that person must have done something wrong. But generally in Kali Yuga, it's not like that. If somebody is insulting you, more probably you're doing something right. Yes, and it is more probable that you're doing something right. If you're really doing something wrong, then all the wrong people are party to it. So they don't generally go against you. But if you're doing something right, you're alone. And then everybody starts working against you. Because when you do something according to the truth, then it's a very small group. And this is why being insulted shouldn't come as a shock to you. You must understand that this is natural and normal when you try to become pure in an impure world. And Baba says in Hindi that jitne kalank lagenge, utne kalangidhar banenge. Which means that the more you are insulted, you must know that every time you take a right step, you will be insulted. So the more you encounter these things, you will become the Kalangidhar, or one with the peacock crown. Okay, so that's what Baba says. Then Baba describes another 2 or 3 scenarios today. Another scenario is when somebody is being always bitter to you. Have you seen that there are people around you who are constantly using bad language and bitter words and stuff with you? And then Baba says that in the face of that situation, you have to maintain your sweetness. You don't have to be bitter about that. And even if, so this is another situation where you have to stick to your sweetness. Don't allow their voice and their bitterness become part of you. So that's a challenge. And in the face of this kind of a situation, because you see, there's this one Mata and her husband, he really talks nasty to her. And then she said that, one day I felt that he's abusing me so much, so I started abusing his mom because that's the only thing that hurts him. So I started speaking ill about his mom, and then he got very angry, and then But he stopped. So I said, but he again started tomorrow. So he said, yes. She said, yes. So I said, for that, for that one moment of he stopping, you paid a very big price. You spoilt your own sanskar for that, which is not required. What you really need is tolerance. And remember Baba and build that tolerance. Otherwise, Maya is actually becoming very successful. So this is another scenario. Third scenario is when you're saying something to someone which is for their benefit, but instead of listening to you, they are getting more and more upset with you. Yes, sometimes most of the times it happens with very close family members. You try to tell them something for the benefit, and then they are reacting to it, and it's making them more and more peaceless. And then Baba says, if they are getting disturbed by it, अगर वो तंग हो रहे हैं, तो आप तंग मत करो. So Baba says that when you understand that your words and your actions are not having the desired result, then you refrain from it. You take a step back. Because, there is a very subtle thing going on here, which is they are getting upset about it, but it's your sanskar also to derive pleasure out of upsetting somebody. And that sanskar comes into play. And then what happens is, when these two sanskars come together, then there's a game of, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, and you keep doing that same thing which is causing sorrow to somebody else. So Baba says, if somebody is not willing to do the good thing or, do something for the betterment, and they are getting more and more peaceless and reacting and getting upset, take a step back and know that maybe that's their part in drama. So you cannot Baba says with love, you can say that don't do this, do this. But if it is upsetting them, and if whatever you say is not working, then you don't have to use force or any other method to ensure that they do that, because anyways you cannot change anybody's destiny. You can only do your karma, you cannot change anybody's destiny. So whatever you do, whatever you say, it has to be with love. And whenever you start using force, because it's your sanskar to use force, and you start using force under the guise that, I'm doing something good for this person, then stop that. Because even if you're trying to do good, that's not working. So Baba says you can continue doing what you're doing, but with love and not using any other method. And if you're using any other method, force or screaming, shouting or whatever, that's your sanskar and you refrain from it. So that's another thing. Then Baba says, Maya also interferes in the way of creating fear. Yes, so there are many things which when you start doing according to Srimad, then Maya will create situations where you'll be afraid. Yes, but Baba says that don't be afraid. Even if Maya, so I'll tell you one thing. There was this one Mata, and she used to get up at Amrit Vela, and her husband used to really get angry when she got up at Amrit Vela and went to the other room and sat to meditate. So he would just say, I'll drive you out of the house if you did this and did that. And then she said, if I don't do this for myself, I will be driving myself out of the house and committing suicide one day, because I'm not in good state of mind. And Baba is helping me. Why don't you allow Baba to help me? So he said, no, you better commit suicide, but I'll not allow you to do this. So then she said, okay, you do what you can. I will get up in the morning. And then 2-3 days he shouted and then he stopped. So you see that never give in to fear, because the cycle of fear is perpetual. It never stops. If you give in to fear once, it's not that that cycle will stop. The other person or situation or Maya will always use that tool of fear against you, and they will again make you do something which you are not ready for. So give up the fear, not what fear wants you to give up. Okay, so these are some things that Baba tells. You go through the Murli is very empowering, enlightening. Okay, Om Shanti.